Hey guys, so I've got some exciting stories to tell you today. So I was on a call within this funnel builder certification program where one of the Russell's guy, Jason, taught us how to grow our funnel building business and how to get better at sales. And there were two problems that came up. One was coming from one of the ladies, and the other example was used by Jason. So he used two stories how to justify the pricing, which is not cheap. And today I'm going to tell you those two stories. So problem number one was coming from this lady. She, first off, her client paid for her certification, which is 10K. So yeah, hats off for this client. That's amazing. And she was trying to come up with pricing for this for the offer for this client, and she was stuck because she knew she was worth getting paid like 5 or 10K a month from this client alone, because the client that she was working with needed like a lot of funnels set up. Like they needed opt-in funnel, they needed VSL funnel, then a webinar application funnel for their high-ticket coaching, and a funnel hub, which is basically if you stack multiple funnels on top of each other and they all intertwine and fuel one another. So that was a lot of work, and it required like 6-12 months of work, pretty much. And yeah, she asked this question to Jason, like, how should I justify my pricing, right? And Jason was like, okay, so this is what you're gonna do. It's basically like hiring a CMO full time. She was, yeah, right. Like they even put me this title, like CMO. I'm their CMO because they don't have any. And he was like, yeah, great. So yeah, like what would you say is the average salary of a CMO? She was like 200, 250. It was, yeah, exactly. Like 150 minimum plus bonuses will be probably like 250. He was, yeah, all right, let's keep going. So, and what would you say? Yeah, so you can actually tell them, first thing, that a CMO would cost you 250K per annum to pay, because all that work required is means equals like hiring a full-time CMO, right? So you can start with that. And yeah, another question he asked, he was like, okay, so what would you say is the average salary of a graphic designer, who has like no idea about marketing, and to basically just build out those funnels without any knowledge, any skill whatsoever at marketing and sales. So those funnels would look great, but probably they would not sell like anything, zero. So she said, like 60K. He goes, yeah, exactly. So you can, then another thing you can tell them is basically, I could charge you like 250 for this job, but I'm not gonna charge you that. So like a graphic designer, just to build out those funnel visually, would cost you 60K, and that's what my price. That's what my price is. It's roughly 6K a month. So you're gonna get a CMO for a price of graphic designer. Yeah, and it was crazy. I love that. So you present the difference in what they get versus what they pay, right? So 250 versus 60, and you always, just like in your funnels, you want to present like the total value, which is, for example, like 3K, and the price for today is 97 bucks. So there's like huge discrepancy, like 10x or something like that. Yeah, and the second story was Jason told this story about how one time he justified this price of 10k for building out the funnel. So and he said, key here, if you sit with your client, you have to come up with the strategy. You have to, ideally, you would know their numbers, right? So they tell you, and they already have a traffic, they have an offer which is selling good or great. They have all the systems put in place, but they're just not great. So you can see like you could do implement a lot of improvement in their systems, but they're already there, they're live, they're working. So they tell you, okay, so I'm getting like 20,000 people into my funnel every month, right? And my opt-in page is converting at like 10% or 20%, whatever. And he said that he showed his opt-in page to this client and asked him like, okay, so what would you say your conversion, your opt-in conversion would be on a opt-in page like this? And he showed him his opt-in page. He was like, phew, like easily 20% more, because like the copy is on point, everything is great, at least 20%. And Jason said, okay, let's have that. Let's say it's 10%. He said you always want to like half what the client tells you, just to go like with the lowest possible benchmark, right? So 10%. Okay, so if it converts 10% better with 20,000 people a month, that's like roughly 100k in revenue plus for you, right? He was like, yeah, like easily. Okay, so, and then Jason said, okay, so I could easily charge you like 25k for this job, right? And you always want to justify the first price, if you will, like value. No, value is 100k, but justify like the price you lead in, because then you want to present a second price which is like substantially lower to make the impact, right? And he said like, I could easily charge you 25k for that, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna charge you like 10k. I want just 10k for the job, right? That's what he did. And basically the bottom line is here is you want to always, because you know you've probably been in that place before where you're sitting with your prospect or client, and you're telling them like, okay, I'm gonna get you like 100k plus or like 200k plus, and they're like turning their noses and like frowning at you like, what, like on what grounds, right? You have to have some numbers, real numbers to work on. And the other thing is they have to actually tell you that they think your work, your funnels are going to convert better at like 20% or something like that. Because if you tell them, that's what I learned, if you tell them, okay, my funnel is going to perform like roughly 20-30% more than what you have right now, it's not theirs, it's not coming from them, they're probably not gonna believe it. But if you ask them, so make them sell themselves. If you ask them, like, what do you think, like, take a look at your stuff and at my stuff, at my opt-in page and at your opt-in page and at my opt-in page, like, what would you say the improvement would be? And he would be like, like 20%, easy peasy, right? So then you cut it in half, and then you use this number as a fact to further justify your high prices. Yeah, so that's That's it for today. I just wanted to share this with you guys. I learned a ton today, and yeah, one step closer to be a real pro and charge high prices. See you.